Without titanium, you cannot build a modern fighter jet. Without titanium, nuclear submarines would deform under the pressure of the deep ocean, and space stations would warp in orbit. This metal is the backbone of the modern world, yet paradoxically, much of its supply lies in the hands of countries that are politically hostile to the West. In every technological conflict, power does not reside solely in weapons or oil reserves. It resides in material supply chains. Steel shaped the 19th century. Oil dominated the 20th. But in the 21st century, where the boundary between humans and machines is increasingly blurred, titanium is the metal quietly reshaping the global map of power, an element that appears inert, yet one that can force aerospace corporations to rethink foreign policy and compel nations to weigh every sanction carefully because of a single, silvery gray material. Titanium is the ninth most abundant element in Earth's crust, accounting for nearly 0.6% of the planet's mass, more plentiful than copper, zinc, or nickel. In theory, it is everywhere in beach sand, volcanic rock, even lunar dust. And yet the paradox remains: aerospace-grade titanium, pure enough for jet engines, is as rare as gold. The reason is not geology, but thermodynamics and the politics of refinement. Converting ilmenite or rutile into pure titanium requires reduction in oxygen-free vacuum environments, an energy-intensive and costly process. Producing 1 ton of pure titanium can consume as much energy as producing 15 tons of aluminum. This immense cost limits industrial-scale production to only a handful of countries: Russia, China, Japan, and the United States. But the reality is even more concentrated. Over 60% of the world's aerospace-grade titanium originates from Russia, largely controlled by the VSMPO Avisma Corporation. In other words, a metal found across the planet is confined to a narrow supply chain where power is determined not by raw resources, but by mastery of purification technology. This concentration forms the foundation of modern geopolitical negotiations. 1 kilogram of titanium can cost 20 times more than steel. So, why does the world still choose it? Because true strength is not measured by upfront cost, but by life cycle performance. In aviation, titanium reduces the weight of a Boeing 787 by more than 6 tons compared to steel of equivalent strength. Every ton of weight reduction translates into millions of dollars saved in fuel over the aircraft's lifetime. Titanium also resists corrosion, avoids metal fatigue, and withstands temperatures up to 600 degrees Celsius, meaning maintenance costs are minimal. When total operating expenses are calculated over 20 years, a titanium-based engine can be dozens of times cheaper than one made from steel. Yet its real value lies at the strategic level. Titanium enables submarines to dive deeper, aircraft to fly faster, and robots to operate in extreme environments. It is not merely a metal, it is a passport beyond the physical limits of carbon, steel, and aluminum. That is why nations investing in titanium are not merely purchasing materials, they are purchasing survival capacity in a post-industrial world. In an era where weight, durability, and energy efficiency determine outcomes, titanium has become the new unit of national power. If the 20th century was the age of mechanics, the 21st is the age of convergence between biology and metal, and titanium sits at the center of that convergence. In medicine, titanium has already entered the human body: bones, joints, teeth, even artificial spines. Looking ahead, with metal 3D printing and the FFC Cambridge process, a cleaner, cheaper electrochemical method for producing titanium from its oxide production costs could fall by as much as 70%. When that happens, not only medicine, but robotics, aerospace, and architecture could undergo large-scale titanization. Imagine a world where humanoid robots possess titanium skeletons lighter than steel, yet more resilient than any existing alloy, or a future of enhanced human bodies, where biological and mechanical components merge seamlessly, immune to rejection, resistant to corrosion, and capable of lasting centuries. As production costs decline, titanium will cease to be a military-only metal and become the material of the post-human citizen. It opens a new era in which the boundary between technological enhancement and biological evolution is no longer clear. And in the geopolitics of the future, the nation that controls low-cost titanium technology will not merely dominate markets, it will shape the very form of humanity. In the 21st century, power no longer lies in oil or black gold. It lies in elements capable of redefining the limits of life and technology. Titanium is a perfect example, abundant yet inaccessible, powerful yet costly, forged in war yet seeded for a biological future. The struggle for titanium is not merely a battle over resources, it is a battle for the right to design humanity's future.